Thing that gets brought up a lot when we get in conversations about Spider-Man and Sony and Marvel and Disney is, does Sony have enough backstory? Do they have enough characters in their, I guess you could say their stable to continue the Spider-Man arc for a long, long time? Because let's be real, Spider-Man will always print money. But what happens if Sony tries to take their toe out of the MCU and do it on their own? We've seen that in the past. So, I thought I would do a video for you guys and let you know. Trust me when I say, Sony has plenty of Spider-Man characters to continue this on for generations. We're going to go over their leaked list of characters. And people are always asking, who does Marvel own, or who does Disney own, and who does Sony own? Welcome to the Chaos Multiverse, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos, do me a favor. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure those notifications are on because it enters you in our PlayStation 5 giveaway at 25,000 subscribers. That's right, when we hit it, somebody gets it. Leave a comment on any video you want, and this is a list, a leaked list of Marvel characters that are allegedly owned by Sony. It was a Sony document that was allegedly leaked, and it was compiled by Reddit users. This is not only a list of characters, but also groups. So keep that in mind, and we're not going to go through the whole thing for the sake of time because there's over 600 characters. So basically, if you see a character on this list, then Sony owns them for the most part. And anybody else that's not on the list, Disney owns, if that makes any sense. And Sony owns any character introduced via a Spider-Man property. So keep that in mind. And we're going to go through some of the big ones here and show you just how deep down the rabbit hole Sony could actually go through this. Now, as we scroll through what you're seeing, you're going to see a lot of familiar faces. You're going to see Doc Ock, you're going to see Green Goblin, you're going to see multiple variations of all of them. There's so many Green Goblins. Crusher Hogan, Peter Parker is Green Goblin, the Construct, Harry Osborn, the Ultimate Green Goblin, Bard Hamilton. It goes on and on and on. And then if you go just to the Goblin, you've got Goblin God, you've got Goblin 2099. I mean, there's so many iterations and variations of all these characters, and you're going to see some characters on here that you've probably never heard of because there's a ton of them that will never see the light of day when it comes to live streaming or a live action movie, but they're there. They're there in case Sony wants to use them. The SpiderVerse is massive, and you can imagine the actual Disney Marvel verse. It's exponentially bigger because there's so many characters. So let's just keep going through here. We've got Kraven the Hunter, who we know is coming. There's 3 or 4 different versions of Kraven the Hunter that they could actually go with if they want. We've got Madam Web. That leak has been out there before as well. And then you get into some crazy stuff. Man-Spider, Man-Wolf. I mean, it's crazy how many different variations that people actually came up with these. But we're going to get to the part where we focus on the Spider-Man IPs in the Sinister Six, because those are what's going to be a big, big deal. 3 different versions of Mysterio. You've got Quentin Beck, you've got Daniel Burkhart, and you've got Francis Klum. You've got a bunch of different variations of Osborn, which everybody probably knows those. Those are the more popular ones, right? Well, let's get down to, well, Scarlet Spider. There's like 10 different variations of Scarlet Spider. But let's talk about the Spider section. When you get to Spider, you've got Spider Clone, Ben Reilly, Spider Carnage, Spider Side, Spider Demon, multiple Spider Girls, and a ton of different Spider-Man variations. You've got Peter Parker, you've got Ben Reilly, Miles Morales, who all of us think is going to be showing up sooner than later in the live-action SpiderVerse, Miguel O'Hara, Max Bourne. I mean, it goes on and on. You have Spider Imposters that tried to play him, Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Man India, Spider-Man Robot, people. You've got Spider-Venom, Spider-Wasp, more Spider-Women. I mean, it just goes, it's almost infinite. It's crazy and staggering and overwhelming how many different variations that they could team off with and do this. That's just Spider-Man, okay? Then we get down to Venom. It's the exact same thing. You've got Venom from Eddie Brock. You've got Venom from Matt Gargan, Daniel Jackson, Flash Thompson. Yeah, there is a Venom that was Flash Thompson. Then you've got Eddie Brock Jr., you've got Venom Spider-Girl, Venom 2099. Once again, you pack those in with all the Spider-Man variations, and you've got a long line of things that you can pull from when you're trying to get creative with what you're doing. Like I said, 99% of these will never see the light of day. But the fact is, they're there, and a lot of people were worried that there's not enough depth in the Spider-Verse. Trust me, that's not true at all. As we continue to scroll through here, you see Sinister Six, you see the Sinister Seven, you see the Sinister Syndicate. There's even a Sinister 12. You heard me right. There's enough characters to make a Sinister 12. Now, it didn't have the same spin or the same, I guess you could say, pizzazz as the Sinister Six, but it is there, and it is a viable thing that could actually be used if they wanted it to. The point I'm getting at is, trust me when I say the Spider-Verse is rich with characters and groups and story arcs that they could go off of. So don't for a second think they're going to run out of ideas or potential IPs or characters, because it's not going to happen. And like I said, this is an alleged Sony document leak, and if they're not on here, then you can assume that they're on the Disney Marvel roster, which is even bigger. It's just, if you're a fan of comics, it's a good time to be alive. You're in a good spot with what they're working on. I mean, Disney's working on close to 40 projects right now. I mean, I know Sony's not as big as that, but the fact that they've kind of played nice and started working with the MCU and tied everything together, Toby and Andrew coming, it's an exciting time. So there you go, guys. This is a good look at the alleged characters that Sony actually owns, because people are always wondering, what's the deal? Who does Disney own versus who Sony owns? How does that work? Basically, if any character is introduced via Spider-Man, Sony's got him. Let me know what you guys think. Which ones on this list do you think they should go with? And I'll see you soon.